Hello again, we are G.A.M.E. Today I am filming this short video from my kitchen as I continue to shelter in place, and hopefully all of you are healthy and doing well, your family and friends as well, and are also sheltering in place. I hope that you're doing as much as you can to stay sane with all of the other crazy that we've been experiencing recently, but this all will pass and we will get through it and hopefully be stronger for it. Today I'm going to talk about fats and carbohydrates. However, I do want to clear something up from my previous video. When I was comparing the Big Mac meal with the chicken, I said that the chicken has 6 grams of fat, and that translates into 24 grams of, and that translates into 24 total calories. That is in fact not the case. The chicken does have 6 grams of fat. However, each gram of fat is 9 calories, so that translates into 54 total calories. Now, that's an awful lot less still than the amount of fat calories in the Big Mac meal, which was 288. So, you know, there's still a huge discrepancy, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys were getting all of the correct information from me. So it's not 24 total calories, it's 54 total calories. Also, I had somebody ask me, well, what happened to the Big Mac meal when you were finished filming? And I'd like to say that my dog, who you can see pacing back and forth in the background, was very, very happy that day because I cut it up and I gave it all to him. So Big Macs are not things that I ingest myself, but every now and then I will give my dog a treat. So he was very happy that day. Okay, so moving on, I'd like to, as I said before, talk about fats and carbohydrates. So I'm going to start with fats. Fats are something that we do actually need in our diet, but we just don't need it to excess. My belief, and what I'm going to share with you now, is that the body only needs 15% of our total caloric intake in fat. 20% maximum. But my belief is 15% is all one really needs on a daily basis compared to their total caloric intake to be healthy. Now, we do need fat in our system because it helps with the maintenance of our skin, our hair, our nails, our connective tissue, the fluids between our joints, our organs. We need fat in our system for all of those things to work and develop properly, but we don't need fat to be, 30, 40, 50% of our total caloric intake. It's just too much because what we don't assimilate and use in our bodies, we store in the fat cells. Fat cells get bigger, it changes our girth, and we don't like that, and it's a challenge to get rid of. So we can make these changes in our diet to bring in not only the proper level of fats, but also the right types of fats. So when we talk about making good choices along that line, the FDA in a research paper that I read a number of years ago said that if the average individual in the United States took red meat out of their diet, they would be taking 50% of the fat that they eat annually out of their diet. With that one simple change, just stop eating red meat and 50% of their fat is gone. That would be a good choice to make if somebody is concerned about their total fat intake and they eat a lot of red meat. So there are 3 different fats that I want to discuss right now that we take in on a regular basis. And I'm going to tell you how to identify them. It's very simple. The first one is saturated fats. Saturated fats are those fats that will stay solid at room temperature. So as an example, if you take a stick of butter or some lard or something like that out of the refrigerator and you set it on the counter, I don't care how long you leave it there, it will not liquefy. It may get softer than it was in the refrigerator, but it will not turn to liquid. It will not liquefy. You cannot pour it. I don't care how long you leave it on the counter. So just think when you ingest those types of fats, excuse me, into your body, which is 98.6 degrees, if it is not going to liquefy at room temperature, which could get up to 70, 80 degrees depending on the day and where you live, and it's not going to liquefy on the counter, what do you think it's doing in your system? These fats have also been shown through studies to raise your bad cholesterol and contribute to certain disease maladies as hypertension and other forms of heart disease. So those are the types of fats that we want to try to avoid. The next type of fats are your unsaturated fats. Unsaturated fats at room temperature will liquefy. You can see this easily with vegetable oils. So you have olive oil, peanut oil, canola oil, different oils like that that you see are liquid at room temperature. Those particular oils have shown to actually lower the level of bad cholesterol in your system and actually are participants in improving one's condition if in fact they are suffering from hypertension or other forms of heart disease. Excuse me. There's one other type of fat that I want to talk about, which is called trans fats. We've heard a lot in the news over the past several years about trans fats and how we all eat a lot of trans fats and how bad they are for us. Trans fats are also considered trans unsaturated fats, but compared to other unsaturated fats, it is not good for us in the same ways. Now, trans fats came along a long time ago as a byproduct of the processing of certain fish and vegetable oils. Well, it has now been adopted in our society for frying foods in restaurants and fast foods. It's used in chips. It's used in those snack cakes and other baked goods that we get from the corner market. And it has, like saturated fats, been shown to contribute to raising your bad cholesterol and also contributing to hypertension and other heart diseases as well. So that's why on a lot of products now you see them say no trans fats, because they want to market their product as being healthier than other like products that still use trans fats in the creation of their foods. So we want to reduce the amount of saturated and trans fats and increase the amount of unsaturated fats. Now, keeping in mind, as I mentioned earlier, that 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. Well, that's 1 gram of any type of fat. So whether it's saturated, unsaturated, trans, it's all 9 calories per single gram. And so as you are developing your meal plan and your nutritional plan, you want to keep in mind when you look at your total intake of calories for a day, you want to keep in mind that you're going to have to take in a lot less fat because it yields a lot more calories in comparison at a ratio of over 2 to 1. I'm going to move on now to carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are very, very important, especially from an energy level. When you first get up in the morning, when you first start that exercise program, it's the carbohydrates in your body, simply put the sugars in your body, that gives you that initial energy boost. So our blood glucose is sugar. That is easily tapped into quickly. Our muscle glycogen, sugar. The body goes to those stores to tap into, especially if you are doing something active and you're using your skeletal muscular system. It pulls on that glycogen to help with the energy. Excuse me. The thing about sugar, though, in our system is that it burns very quickly. If you are on a long endurance program, your sugar stores are burnt through within the first 10 to 12 minutes of activity. After that, the body starts looking for other fuel sources, and that's when it starts to burn fats. Okay, fats are a good fuel for energy, but a slow burning fuel. So if you are doing an activity that's a lot faster, the body looks for ways to replenish its carbohydrate and sugar burning as fuel because it needs it more quickly, and it needs it more immediately. So that's why for people who are trying to lose weight and trying to lose fat, it has been suggested for years that they do something at a lower intensity for a longer period of time. Therefore, you're going to burn through the more easily accessible sugars, get to the fat over a longer period of time, and use that as your fuel. So a couple of the main carbohydrate sources we should be looking at is fruits and vegetables. Okay, they are not only more simple in the sugars that they release, which means that the body doesn't have to do as much to break down the carbohydrate chains to make it more easily assimilated by the body. But also they are responsible for a lot of our vitamin intake, our vitamin Bs, our vitamin Cs, our minerals. We have iron, we have zinc, we have all different types of vitamins and minerals that come out of our fruits and vegetable sources, as opposed to other forms of carbohydrates like rice, pasta, breads, etc. So when we take in our fruits and vegetables, as we've heard for a long, long time, the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, suggests that we take in 7 fruits and vegetables every day. Now, that doesn't mean that we take in 7 fruits and 7 vegetables. It means 7 servings of fruits and vegetables combined on a daily basis. Now, what they found after they surveyed our society, they found that the average number of servings that people are taking in per day was 1. Not 3, not 4, not 8, not even 7, but 1. Which means there are some people who are taking more than that, but several people who are taking in less than that, 0 fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. So let me share something with you that might help you be, more enthusiastic about eating fruits and vegetables. A serving size is about the amount of whatever the food, the fruit, the vegetable that you want to take in, you can fit in the palm of your hand. Just that little cup right there, okay? So let's take, vegetable-wise, one of my favorites, which is broccoli. Broccoli to me is one of the best foods on the planet as far as its nutrient value. I eat the little florets, okay? I don't get the big stems because I don't like those big stems, but I do like the florets. One serving size, what I can fit in the palm of my hand, are 4 of those florets. That's it, 4 of those florets. And that's one serving size. Now personally, I can easily eat 8 to 12 of those florets without even thinking about it. So right there, just with broccoli, just with my dinner meal, that right there is 3 servings of vegetables right there, okay? Let's talk about fruits. If you eat a whole banana, you're probably getting at least 2 servings of fruit right there. You eat an entire apple, you're getting at least 2 servings of fruits right there, okay? Grapes, if you eat more than 6 to 8 grapes, you're eating more than a serving. So serving sizes are a lot smaller than people think. So let's look at what I just described. Half a banana, half an apple, 8 grapes, and 12 broccoli florets. Put that together, and what do you have? You have 6, close to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables right there. That is what is being suggested. Now, what did the FDA do after they did their survey to find out that most people are having only 1 serving on average per day? They upped the recommendation to 10, such that if the recommendation is 10, perhaps more people in an effort to get to 10 will have 2, 3, 4. They'll approach a daily fruit and vegetable consumption that is a lot healthier for them. So just remember, cut down the serving size, and you'll be able to much more manageably get the amount of fruits and vegetables into your system that you need. So just remember the palm technique, okay? Whatever you can fit in the palm of your hand, you cup it, put it in that cup, that's a serving size on average. Other forms of carbohydrates, more complex carbohydrates, are the carbohydrates that we find in pasta, rice, baked goods. There's another one that I was going to mention. Well, baked goods covers that. I was going to mention bread, but baked goods and the like. Reason being is that all of those forms of carbohydrates have other things added to them, which are not strictly sugars that we need for energy and performance. There are other things that need to be broken down, need to be separated out through digestion, therefore we are left with a lower percentage of what we really want, which is the carbohydrate, sugar, fuel aspect out of that food. Because so many other things are mixed with it, it makes it an inferior fuel source. And often it's laden with fat and other things that we're really not looking for carbohydrates to have. And, therefore it's just really not what we want to look at as part of a diet to fuel our systems. Now, am I suggesting that you stop eating breads, stop eating pasta, stop eating rice? No, because as I've mentioned before, it's all in moderation. All of these things can contribute to a degree to your total fuel intake during a day, but you just can't overdo it, okay? You just can't overdo it. Everything in moderation. So, now that we've talked about proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, I'm going to end this segment by saying this. If you look at your plate, and you divide it into half, and then this half, you divide in half again. So on this side, you have an entire half of your plate. On this side, you have a quarter and another quarter. Okay? So as you are developing your meal plan, just think of it this way. On this side of your dinner plate, I'm talking about dinner right now specifically. This can apply to lunch too, but let's just say dinner. On this side of your plate where you have an entire half, fill that with your vegetables. On the other side of your plate where you have a quarter, that's where you put your protein, be it meat, poultry, or fish. Put your poultry in there, or your fish or your meat, your protein. And below that, on that other quarter, that's where you want to put your carbohydrate. Okay? That's where you want to put your potatoes. That's where you want to put your rice. That's where you want to put your pasta. Keeping in mind that even though we have these things and they're all pretty clean in and of itself, in their rawest form, what do? We put butter on top, sour cream on top. A baked potato isn't bad. It's what we put on it. It's the butter, sour cream, bacon bits, all that stuff that makes it good are the things that aren't the best for us, okay? So we want to keep things as clean as possible. There are plenty of things on the market that you can buy. Mrs. Dash is a salt-free herb mixture that tastes very, very good. On my baked potatoes, I put salsa instead of butter. It tastes very, very good because I'm just adding more vegetables. All of the gravies and stuff that we put on our rice and potatoes, we need to find a different way, a better way, okay? So, again, half of your plate vegetables, 1/4 of your plate protein, the other quarter of your plate is your carbohydrate, okay? That way things will start to balance out, things will start to be healthier, and we're on the road to proper fueling of your system. So, with that, I'm going to sign off for right now. And again, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm going to give you my email address right now. So if any of you have specific questions for me, please feel free to email me and ask those questions, and I will respond either in a group vignette like this or individually to you. That email address is kcsgym, Casey's Gym, at AOL.com. That's kcsgym at AOL.com. Everybody take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon.